There is a sense of discomfort spreading through the Formula One paddock this week. Mercedes just announced what's coming. They bided their time, filled their tanks, and now, with the Dutch Grand Prix days away, the upgrade is about to be unleashed. And the number attached to it is the kind that makes rivals uncomfortable. Half a second every 2 months. That's the development rate Mercedes technical director James Allison just confirmed from their wind tunnel. Not a one-off gain or a single package delivering a surprise improvement. A sustained, repeatable, systematic rate of performance extraction that, by Allison's own calculation, is 6 to 7 times faster than anything Mercedes found in their wind tunnel last year, in a season where every team is developing at the most aggressive rate in Formula One history. Allison didn't dress it up. He called it really, really steep. He called certain moments in the development race scary. He confirmed Mercedes has been deliberately holding back, not because they couldn't bring upgrades, but because their strategy required it. The tank, he said, is full. The next lump of performance is coming. It will restore what he called the status quo, the advantage Mercedes had at the start of the season before Ferrari and McLaren's upgrades began to close the gap. The status quo. As in, the 6-race winning streak that opened 2026. As in, the dominance that had Antonelli 50 points clear of Lewis Hamilton in the championship. As in, the gap that Ferrari and McLaren have been spending all season trying to close. One development cycle, Allison is warning, and that gap opens again. Let's talk about what Allison revealed, why Mercedes' deliberate delay makes the Zandvoort upgrade even more significant, and what Hamilton's title push means for Ferrari's increasingly complicated internal situation. Start with Allison's explanation, because the story of how Mercedes arrived at this moment is as interesting as the upgrade itself. Most teams approach a new regulatory era with a progressive development philosophy. Launch a reasonable car, gather data, improve it race by race as understanding deepens. Mercedes did something different in 2026. They pushed their development timeline to the absolute limit, leaving their bodywork and aerodynamic development later than they had ever left it before, by several weeks. Running a plan that, in Allison's words, had less than no contingency in it. Why? To extract maximum performance from the steepest development slope and pack as much of it as possible into the first car at the first race. Rather than launching a car that would improve significantly through the season, Mercedes launched a car that already had everything they could physically get into it at that point. We did everything in our power to launch a car at the start of the year that was going to be strong, Allison said. We emptied everything out to do that. The consequence of emptying everything out is that the tank needs time to refill. While Ferrari, McLaren and Red Bull have been bringing regular upgrade packages throughout the season, because their development programs were still building toward their peak, Mercedes has been running in the opposite direction. Their early season advantage came from front-loading development. Their mid-season relative stagnation comes from having front-loaded it. But the tank has been filling throughout. We've been filling up our tanks to give more, and we're a bit out of phase, Allison explained. Our development program, as a result of arriving early, is now running a race or two after the update rates of the others. Out of phase, that's the key phrase. Mercedes' development cycle is running slightly behind their rivals, not because they're slower, but because they started from a different point. And here's where Allison's analysis becomes genuinely alarming for Ferrari and McLaren. He believes everyone is on the same development slope, approximately half a second every 2 months, every team, roughly the same rate of gain. If that's true, then the team that brings their upgrade package first simply leads until the next team brings theirs. The advantage flips back and forth as development cycles overlap. Being out of phase half a step with the development cycle means that you can have half a second like we did at the start of the year, Allison said. One development cycle will bring that to nothing. And that feels quite scary. Scary. Mercedes' own technical director using that word about what's coming from the perspective of the team about to receive it, not the team about to deliver it. Ferrari and McLaren arrived with their upgrades. Mercedes rode out those scary events. Now it's Mercedes' turn. Our strategy is just to try to keep our nose ahead and to make sure that the next lump of performance that we deliver will restore the status quo and restore the goodness we put in at the beginning of the season. Restore the status quo. That's Allison's target for Zandvoort. Not maintain the championship lead. Restore the advantage that made the championship lead look comfortable. the 6-race winning streak, the dominance that had every rival asking whether anyone could stop Mercedes in 2026. The timing matters. Ferrari have pursued their continuous incremental upgrade philosophy, continuous incremental steps, reliable gains at every race, trusting Vasseur's cost cap management completely. Leclerc said he wasn't worried. Hamilton backed the approach. But Wolff warned Ferrari would run out of money. Now, Allison is warning that a single Mercedes development cycle could erase everything Ferrari has built across the entire mid-season. Which brings us to Hamilton. Because the championship picture heading into Zandvoort is significantly more complicated than the standings suggest. Hamilton sits second in the Drivers' Championship, 50 points behind Antonelli, 31 points ahead of Leclerc. His first genuine title challenge since the devastating conclusion to 2021 in Abu Dhabi. The 7-time world champion, now 41 years old, chasing the 8th title that would make him statistically the greatest driver in Formula One history, without any possible argument. Ferrari's own fans are already asking whether the team needs to start helping him get there. Almost 60% of fans, surveyed by Racing News 365, believe Ferrari should prioritise Hamilton over Leclerc, backing the 106-time race winner over their academy graduate in the hunt for Ferrari's first Drivers' Championship since Kimi Raikkonen in 2007. Nearly 2 decades of drought, Hamilton as the vehicle to end it. The numbers make the argument. Hamilton has outscored Leclerc by 31 points across the opening 11 rounds. He sits between the 2 Mercedes drivers in the standings, closer to Antonelli than Russell is. He is by any measure Ferrari's best and perhaps only realistic championship hope in 2026. But Leclerc's camp has already warned against exactly this conversation. His mental coach Riccardo Ceccarelli, whose pronunciation guides as Ceccarelli, issued a public warning before the summer break that implementing a clear hierarchy at Ferrari would damage the team's internal balance, risk Leclerc's motivation, and potentially cost more points than it gains. Vasseur, for his part, called it unfair to ask Leclerc to slow down after Hungary, even when the mathematics increasingly favour backing Hamilton. That conversation gets harder to avoid the deeper into the second half of the season Ferrari goes. If Hamilton remains within striking distance of Antonelli, and if Mercedes' Zandvoort upgrade doesn't immediately restore the dominant advantage Allison is promising, then every race becomes a decision point for Vasseur. Every strategy call, every team radio message, every moment where Leclerc and Hamilton share the same tarmac. Ferrari's internal situation, Mercedes' upgrade arriving, Allison's half-second every 2 months. Rivals watching all of it and making calculations about what the second half of 2026 will actually look like. The Dutch Grand Prix starts this weekend. The tank, Allison says, is full. The uncomfortable feeling in the paddock makes complete sense. Consider what Allison's half-second every 2 months actually means in practical terms for the second half of the season. Zandvoort is race 12. There are 12 races remaining, 2 full development cycles. If Mercedes restores their early season advantage at Zandvoort, if the upgrade delivers what Allison is promising, and if Ferrari and McLaren respond with their own packages at the following races, the second half of 2026 becomes the most intense development war Formula One has seen in the modern era. Every team on the same slope, every team finding roughly the same amount of lap time. The championship decided not just by who drives best. Verstappen has been saying all season that skill is being neutralized, but by who times their development cycles most precisely. Who brings the right update at the right circuit? Who maximizes the window before the next rival package arrives? Allison has been watching that pattern all season from the position of the team that arrived first. He knows what it looks like from the front. He knows what it feels like when someone else brings their update and closes the gap. Now he's on the other side of that equation. The tank is full. The update is coming. Rivals have been through their scary moments. Mercedes' scary moment, or for everyone else, starts at Zandvoort,